Good evening, everyone, and welcome to part 3 of the Children's Corner for Growing Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today is the Children's Corner part 3. We're going to do our autumn pot and a myrtle. And Mr. Weather Tree says for the kids, today is October 6th of 2021 at 66 degrees Fahrenheit or 19 degrees Celsius. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening. And this is our myrtle we're going to use right here. And what I like about it, it's got, if the kids touch this, if you can find this, and if you rub the leaves, you got a nice little smell to it. I mean, it really smells good when you rub it. But this is the name of the plant, Myrtus communis, right here. And my research says that you're only supposed to repot it every 3 to 4 years, and if you do that, do a light root pruning. I guess the roots are sensitive or something. But for the winter rest, it recommends a period of 39 degrees Fahrenheit or 39 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 4C to 50 Celsius. So our free draining soil mix we're going to use is 1 part worm castings, 1 part peat moss, 3 parts sifted perlite, and then we're going to add micus and azus to the roots and the soil. And it says in the winter time to let it dry, but don't let it dry out completely, and to keep the soil like evenly moist. And this does flower. As you can see, the flower on the shoot here. It smells a little bit. But it's going to be a shame to cut this because right now we can either, if you look at it, we can either have the trunk go like this and then straight up this way, or we can have a nice little curve to it like that. So I think this is more like a how do they call it, a water shoot, but it's developed into a nice trunk with the flower. It's a shame that I have to cut it, but needs be what needs be, so we're going to have to do that. So let's do that right now. And then here's our pot for the autumn. I got our Thanksgiving Day greetings on it. It's got the little something for the kids, and this is the kids' pot that you're going to have them decorate it. And here is we got a screen in the bottom because I drilled the bigger holes in there so we can get some good drainage in it. So we know our pumpkin, our wreath, and our turkeys with the greetings going to be our front. So right now, let's see if we can get that water shoot off. And then I'll stick this in water. I know it's a shame, but we got to do it. There we go. But I mean, look at the flower on it. Nice. So let me put it in water, and we'll see if we can root it in some sand later and see what happens. So this is we're going to clean up our wound a little bit more. Just like that. Get our pumpkins out of the way. Now, if we take the branches off of here, our trunk will have like a curve. And then we can have this as our new leader. Or we can cut these back and have this part here as our leader. I mean, if we cut this back off, that's the way our tree is going to look. So I think maybe we can do that, and if we cover our hands here, then you can see the nice curvature in the trunk. So let's try that, and we'll get some good cuttings out of it. So I'm going to dip and clip in the peroxide. I'm going to take these short branches off. Right there. They'll make some good cuttings. And like I says, we cover it up. And we have a nice little curve going up. So we're just going to cut it real close to the base here. I know it looks drastic, but needs be what needs have to be. And then we'll stick them in some sand and see if they root. I got that in water now. Now you can see that the nice curve in the trunk. It's this way and it's going to come up. So all we're going to do is prune these back just a little bit because they say fall is a good time for this to start your cuttings. So we'll see if it does work. And we'll just select prune because we want it to bush out. Just like that for the winter. Just to keep it in a trim position. But you can see how the trunk is now. Now this can grow into our leader, or this can grow into our leader. We'll see how it develops. But we'll see, make sure we can overwinter it. We'll take some of these little small branches off, and we'll leave these here so we can make sacrificial branches out of them. So now let's see the soil that it's in. So right now we're going to squeeze the pot, put it on the side, kill whatever bugs are coming out of it. Okay, let's take our back scratcher. You can get a back scratcher and use it as a root rake. I forgot where I got these from. My niece got them for me. They were a dozen for like $10. But they're good, and you can use them as a back scratcher. But all you do is we'll just rake the top soil, and and it looks like they got a mixture of peat and perlite in here. Okay, so let's put this in our water here. And try to shake off most of the soil out of the roots. There we go. Take our soil, put it in our bucket. And now we'll just go with the chopstick, because the soil's really clogging it. I should have let it dry more, so it'd be easy to work with, but that's alright. We can see what we got here. We want to develop a nice radial root base. Now you can see the cube that was rooted in. It was stuck in this little cube, just like the other ones. Now this is it's not the $5 tree. I think this was like the $6 tree. But it's nice. The kids would be surprised with the smell on this thing. I mean, the smell is beautiful from the leaves. So let's take this cube here and see if we can just pinch it off, see? Just like that. Let me get the camera better here, or tablet. And just rake it off, so we can expose our base. There we go. And just use the point of the skewer to expose our roots. Now there's not much roots on here. Let me dip and clip this one more time. And just take that off there. So if we just dab it some more on the bottom, let's see if we can find our roots. I think this cutting has whoops, dirt in the eyeball. Gotta watch. So we just gotta tease the roots here. It's a nice cutting. It'll have a nice radial root base. We're just going to take this one root off. And we're using these for our roots, and we're just going to light cutting. Just like that. Just like that. A light cutting. And we'll take any roots that are growing up out. And we'll have a nice little tree. Now let's get our dish cleaned off. There we go. And it'll sit nice. See, it's got a nice little, this is all natural bend the way it was grown in the greenhouse. So no wiring was done to this. They must have did like a clip and grow, or either that or was placed behind so many plants it was reaching for the sun. except for that one water shoot that turned into a nice flower there. We're going to see if we can get some cuttings out of this. Now here's our soil. Let me get our little cup here so you can see how nice the soil is. Just like that. Nice little mix. So we're going to put our tree here. Put our pot there. Take our bamboo chopstick. Put some soil in the bottom. I hope I mixed enough. And then what we're going to do is jiggle it down so we get about halfway in. And we're going to take and get the surface tension out. And this way here, the roots will have good contact with the soil as they go into the bottom of the pot. Just like that. Okay. So since we got like a windswept look, we're going to fold our roots like that and see how she looks in the pot. And maybe we can turn it like this. It'd be a better shot. Now, I have to get a paper towel here and wipe my hands good because we're going to reach into the Micus and Azus and we don't want to contaminate our beneficial bacteria. So I want to get a good dry hands here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Azus and then we're going to take our tablespoon, and we got a good tablespoon of our Azus right here, and we're just going to sprinkle it on our roots. Now those of you who don't know what this is a beneficial bacteria. It's not a fertilizer, so you're not going to burn the roots. This is only to help the roots get established. So we use maybe about I don't know, about a quarter of the Azus. And now we're going to get our Micus. And we're going to also do this, and you'll notice that it's all into the potting soil too, so everything's in there. It's all working in conjunction together. They're all working symbiotically. So let's get our Micus. We got about that much in the tablespoon there, about a 3/4 tablespoon. And we're just going to go around the roots. Just like that, and then put the rest in the bottom. You can see how I got it onto the root system. This is all beneficial bacteria. Let's let our tree sit there. Let's close up our bag so we don't get it contaminated. Just like that. Don't forget, you can go to Extreme Gardens and you can get a free sample kit of this. So now we're going to move the roots out like that. Get most of our Azus back in. And now we're going to turn now this is our front of our pot, so we can put our cutting like that, our tree. Something like that. Okay. And now, let me just make a little mound so we don't get no air pockets in there. And we got it just about like that. And we'll just put our mix in. There we go. Now, we'll take our bamboo skewer and we'll just work our potting mix, our bonsai mix, into the root structure. Remember, garage sales. There's still some garage sales out there. You can find yourself a turntable so it's easy for you to work with. It helps if I put the tree in the middle of the turntable. Just like that. Now we're just going to firm it in. And then we'll take our spray bottle and take the surface tension out of the soil, because the soil is super dry, and if you water it, it'll just run right out. It'll make a mess. So by doing this, it'll soak in the soil real nice. Okay, now we'll take our spoon. And we'll fill in the low spot. And we'll take our bottle and just give it a squirt. There we go. Just like that. We got a nice little bend. This is all natural, not handmade. It's all natural. Just the way the tree grew. That's why we call it grow and clip bonsai. You grow it, you clip it, and you grow it again to guide it to the way you think it would grow in nature, and to keep it young and small, and to thicken up your trunk. So don't be afraid. So we'll fill in our holes a little bit. Now this isn't going outside because it's starting to get cooler weather. But I don't know, Saturday and Sunday, you're supposed to get up into the 80s. Fahrenheit, that is. But then it's supposed to go down again. So that's Chicago weather. There we go, and we'll give it a nice spray. Just like that. Now, we'll take our little homemade sprinkling can, and all I did was poke holes in it. So we get the soil nice and saturated. There we go. Let it drain good. You can see it's coming out nice. And remember, here's our front. Everything's in nice. And now what do you do for the kids? Once you got it potted, the kids can put in the soil and everything, but here comes the fun part. I got the pine bark mulch. Let me open it up. Give the kids a spoon and let them decorate the bottom there with some mulch. And this pine bark mulch from Ace is real nice. And this way here, you'll cover up your perlite. It'll be something different. Just let the kids take a spoon and put it in, or let them use their hands, and if they get it all dirty all over the pot, well, let them do it. They're kids. They'll enjoy it, and they'll be interested in doing bonsai with you. I mean, once they get to do it themselves, if you do everything, they're going to get bored, and they're going to say, well, he's doing it, why should I learn how to do it or do it myself? I know you know how kids are. They like to get their hands dirty, and this is a good thing. Let them put their hands in the soil. We're using a spoon, but let them put their hands in the soil, grab a whole bunch, and let them just squirt it in there. That's all. Just let them put it in there. That's all you got to do. So, let them pat it in, make it a little flat. This is our back, so here's our front. Okay, now what are we going to do? Now we're going to get our lipstick. And we're just going to dab this one part that we cut, because I didn't wet it. It'll help it heal over. Remember, lipstick is a natural wax. Give it to the kids that love doing that too. So, and then give them the spray bottle. And let them just mist it real good. And that'll keep everything in. And it'll have like a nice forest floor. Just like that. Oh, it's blinking. We gotta hurry up. Put a couple of pumpkins here. A squirrel. Another pumpkin. Another squirrel. And there you go. Right there. So, it's blinking red. I know it's going to cut out on us. So today's Wednesday night, Detective Night, Old Time Radio, hot cup of tea, gangbusters, Boston Blackie, Dragnet, whatever your pleasure is. Take care, everybody, and sorry for the video being so rough and the red light is on. Take care, everyone.